What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast with my man, Basa Boy 103. What is going on, bro?
I'm chilling, man. I know some people are a bit down from the performance and the result in the Sociedad game, but I'm quite content. I think we had some two good pieces of news today.
Mhm.
As of recording the day after Sociedad game, and the performance is a bit encouraging in the Sociedad game as well. Just things didn't go our way, but I'm doing optimistically well for what's ahead for the rest of this month.
Hey, listen, man. I'm glad that you're feeling well, man. I hope you're doing well too. And again, big up to every single one of you guys. As always, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Basa Boy 103, my guy. But yeah, man, listen, it's I'm gonna be very real, man. It's kind of a damper. You know what I mean, right? It's a damper for sure. Because we were having an amazing week last week, right? We were just creasing the whole week, like throughout, like from Monday to the Friday preview podcast on your channel. We were,
Mm.
we were in very high spirits, bro. We were in high spirits. We just won our first trophy of the season. We just got qualified to the next round of the Copa del Rey, right? Beating Racing Santander. So everything was kind of looking up. And with everything that was happening to Madrid, it was all positives. But yeah, he kind of hit a snag, a big snag. Because yeah, unfortunately, Hafed, we failed, man. We ended up losing this weekend against
Mhm.
Real Sociedad. Came up short again at the Anueta, just like we did last season, right? We had it, man. We were in a good streak last season when we played them, right? And then they came in and then just like that, bro, they just took those points off of us. And once again, right? But this was a game of so many things happening, Hafid, like so many things. It would be a disservice to just say, it was a terrible game because I'm gonna be very, very real with you, Hafid. I wasn't necessarily even angry. Even in
Mhm.
my match reaction, right? I wasn't ranting, shouting, screaming. Yeah, I was frustrated with certain things that happened during the game, of course. But I was more disappointed because I felt like after the way the morale has been for Real Madrid fans coming into this weekend, right? For us losing, it kind of just gave the motivation that we didn't want them to have. You understand what I mean, right? And that was the biggest one for me. But look, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you, Hafid. I was just disappointed because I feel like you mentioned, we played very well. I think we were very, very good in the game. I think that we created a lot of chances. We were unlucky. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy with the referee and VAR, which we will talk about later. But in the game in general, right? I was I was very surprised. Like that first half, I feel like we dominated. We had so many great chances, right? We scored a few goals that were ruled out, right? And it's just one of those things, isn't it? Right? We didn't take our chances in that first half. Sociedad had their best chance of the game, and then just like that, boom, they scored. And you know, we came in the second half. I feel like the second half we were a little bit. We didn't play as well as I felt like we did in the first half. You understand what I mean? And we ended up in the start of the second half. You see, Sociedad was beginning to grow into confidence coming out of the second half. They were playing very, very well, and eventually we kind of soak up the pressure, ended up regrouping, getting back on the ball again, and then we got rewarded with an equalizer, right? Rashford come off the bench, got the goal, and you're thinking, okay, cool, still 20 minutes, 20 plus minutes to go. Let's go out and try to get the winner. We didn't even last for less than a minute, bro, and we were already back a goal down. Disappointing again. Defensively, again, bro. Asleep again, Hafid. Bro, it's our Achilles heel. It's our Achilles heel, bro. Our attack does its job, but bro, our defense is so crap, bro. It is so bad that they are literally going to be the end of us this season if we don't win the league. If we don't win the league, or we don't, I mean, I'm not even talking about the Champions League. Forget about Champions. I'm just focusing on the league right now, right? If we don't win the league, it's gonna be because of this defense. That's the only reason. And obviously the biggest news that came out of this game was that we didn't have a Rafinha, which, and it's another thing that I feel like a lot of people kind of just glossed over. The fact that we've had Rafinha the last few weeks and we've been winning, and he's actually been a main reason why we have been winning those games where we haven't been playing well, like the Osasuna game, for example, right? You're looking at this game where he wasn't available, and then we just lose at the first opportunity of not having him in this game. It's not good enough, man. And it's not good news. Like, and and I was very disappointed with the manager. I'm gonna be very real. The only disappointment I had with the manager is not even with the lineup. I didn't have an issue with the lineup. I think the lineup was pretty good, but I had an issue with his reaction after we were go down after halftime because I expected changes. Guys like Ferran Torres were poor again, bro. I keep listen. I'm gonna keep reiterating this half it until the end of the season. He is not a good starting striker. He's good coming off the bench, but brother, he is not a good striker. I would rather have a Lewandowski. Look at Lewandowski when he came on. My guy nearly scored with his first actual big chance of the game. Like Romero had to make a great save from a point blank header. You understand what I mean, right? And he did more in that game for me more than Ferran Torres. Kunde, bro. I'm tired of this dude. Deadass, I am done. I am tired of it. I don't want to see this guy start another game, bro. If he's a right back, if you want to move him a center back, do that. But Jean Cancelo now is here. And since he's here, bro, I don't want to see him. I'm done. But yeah, man, disappointing. 2-1. We now let Madrid back into the title race, a point behind us. But thoughts, man.
I kind of disagree with some of the things that you said. Well, you said that firstly on the league title, we do lose it because of our defense. You're probably right there. Starting lineup didn't have an issue with either. I thought we played well. You said we played well. I think Flick is not at fault for this game whatsoever. Could he have brought his subs on earlier and had changes? Sure. I think he brought on his subs. One of the subs got a goal. Today, this game was all down to the players in attack. There's a famous saying when you're a coach is that as a coach, all you can do is bring your team from the defense into the final third. Once you're in the final third, it's up to players' individual brilliance. You cannot coach someone to score, to finish a chance. You can coach them how to get there, put the cross in, look for the lines, watch out for the press here and there, blah, blah, blah. Once you're in the final third, it comes up to the players. The players just couldn't finish their chances. We had about 15 clear chances, hit the post 5 times, 3 goals disallowed. We had our moments. We could have scored. They had 2 chances, and they scored both of them. Couldn't have mainly have full for both goals. Yet again, this man needs to be dropped and sent back to wherever part of Africa he is from. Because I guarantee you, he's not from France.
Congo, I think.
Congo,
Benin. He's from
whatever, wherever he is. I think the goal that we can see secondly was so poor from Kubarsi as well. I don't know why he moved to mark the same place where Cancelo was defending. Stuff like that is irritating. I don't think this is going to put the wheels off the wagon in terms of our league title race, so to speak. Madrid played Villarreal away this weekend, second versus third place. They could easily drop points in that game. They could, of course, have a huge win and win it. But I still think we're well and truly in it. I think the only way we don't win this league is if we do give up the league. I don't see us giving up the lead and getting it back. I think as long as we maintain it, that's fine. And we had room for error, and we got it. We had a perfect January thus far. I think the really encouraging thing is that it's not really on Flick, and it came down to us not being clinical. Yes, some referee decisions didn't go our way. Poor refereeing in the game again, especially at the Anawata, where it was the same thing last season. I understand that. But I think it came down to the players not just finishing the chances, and sometimes that happens. You win games sometimes when you're not poor. And then Joel Garcia could have done much better on both goals either, but then again, he earned his 9-10 points by himself, so I can't really go. And I'm like,
exactly.
So it's one of those games. Maybe this will be a little bit of a reality check for the players and let them know that this won't be final season won't be easy. Yes, you're super cool with this, find your champions, but you gotta be able to finish your chances. Lamine Yamal dropped an absolute masterclass, 10 out of 10 S performance, especially with the assist from Rashford, but no one will remember because Barcelona didn't win the game. But I think overall there's some positive takes from it. I think some of the good news that we got today as well maybe sits well with some Barca fans as well. So it's a game where you can learn. And I'm just happy that we at least played well and that, like you mentioned, no one had issues with Flick's line selection. I personally wouldn't have started Rashford in this game. I said I would play Olmo off the left. I would have thought I played Rudy, but I think Rudy doesn't really do well off the left. So I feel like made the right choices, made the right stuff as well. Could have been a bit earlier. I think at halftime, you're going in 1-0 down. You played a fantastic half. You've created so many chances. I can see why Flick didn't make a change too. So I think overall, just a bad day of the offense, but we can learn from it and we can push forward.
I mean, look, like you mentioned, I think the performance was actually pretty good. I had no problem with the performance. I can't even sit there and say, we lost, the performance was awful, this and this. I just felt like it wasn't good enough as far as like capitalizing on our chances was concerned, like you mentioned, right? I feel like we were unlucky in certain situations. And I feel like, like you mentioned, 9 times out of 10, we probably have won that game, right? So it's
Probably,
one of those things. Yeah, and it's just one of those days. And that's kind of how I took it. I was obviously disappointed with kind of the repercussions of losing. That was kind of what I was disappointed with. But as far as the result was concerned, it hurt that we lost, but it didn't hurt as much as like I would say the Chelsea game or the Madrid game, or the Sevilla game.
We
Where
competed, right? We could have won this game,
exactly.
like you mentioned, 9 times out of 10. It's still lonely at the top of La Liga, so that's a good thing as well. If we lost this game and then we end up, of course, losing our place, that would probably hurt a bit more. But
Right.
we're still there. It's an unfortunate result, but at least there's some decent amount of positive. I don't remember the last time we lost a game and we could take a positive out. Usually when we lose a game, we stay defenses as attack. We did nothing, but there's a lot of decent takeaways to take from this game,
Right.
and hopefully it doesn't have too much effect in terms of the title race by the end of this month.
I mean, look, and another thing we need to talk about, and listen, here's the thing. If there's any positive I would say losing does give, is that it's let these Madrid fans have drink that Kool-Aid again. I'm loving it. You and I in the group chat, we've seen the Madrid fans where they've been saying, I've just been sitting there just watching, like, okay, bro, by all means, just talk, man, because you guys have been really silent the whole of last week. I was actually worried, man. You guys, I didn't like the fact that they gave up easily because it didn't feel it doesn't feel as good as them having this false hope copium, you know what I mean, right? Sitting there and saying, yeah, we got this, so that when we finally just ram it on them and we win and we won the title of their head tops again, it will feel better. But it is what it is. We're still top of the table, like you mentioned, right? I mean, it is what it is. But obviously, Javier, that's not the only thing that happened in the game. Let's talk about the main elephant in the room, bro. Let's talk about the main elephant in the room. Bro, I mean, look, let me just say, put my Barca cap aside for a second. If you look at 3 goals that we scored in that first half, if that was against us, you would say, right decision, right, in some of those chances, right? But there was one, and I'm going to put it on screen right now, Hafid. This was the second goal we scored that was rolled out, the Yamal goal. Hafid, I don't know how to. Let me. Can I even zoom this? Hafid, I know we are not on screen anymore, but look at this picture right here. Right. Let me actually put it on full screen on my Twitter. There you go. Look at this, Hafid. This Hafid was given as offside. Hafid, this is offside, brother. The last pin on his stud was what kept him offside, Hafid. Dude, you see this league, yeah? At this point, I can't even go off. I can't even get angry. Like, even my match reaction. People were telling me, yo, Omar, you didn't even mention the VAR situation. I said, I'm so used to the incompetence of this league that now a lot of these things don't make me as angry as it used to in the past because I'm used to it as a Barca fan. You understand what I mean, right? And it's an absolute joke. Like the first goal, the Firmino goal, right? I think that was soft by Kubo. I'm gonna be very real. I think it was soft, man. That was soft, right? But in the end, I kind of let it go. I'm like, okay, that was contact, cool. But when I saw the second goal, I was like, bro, that was offside. That was what was given offside, bro. I honestly have it. When we had those 2 goals and we was rolled out, I just felt it in the air. I said, brother, this is just things of last season when Lewandowski scored a legitimate goal and it was rolled out. And then we went on to lose the game. And then when Oyarzabal scored, I said, bro, Groundhog Day. I'm just sitting there like this. I'm like, wow, just give them the 3 points. Give them the table. We already know what time it is, especially when we got an equalizer right in this end of the first half. We nearly did the penalty, and then all of a sudden that was ruled out. I said, "Yep, yeah, we're not winning this game, guys. Yeah, I pack it up. Respectfully, guys. Let's just move on. It is what it is." But the quality of VAR and the referee in this league, bro, doesn't stop. It doesn't shock me anymore.
It's just the inconsistency, man. Like, of course, Gil Manzano is by far the worst referee in this league, especially when it comes to the big teams. By far, there's a reason why he's not leveled up in terms of his referee position and why he's not on the FIFA list to referee at the World Cup. On the Lamine one, my issue for me isn't the line that you showed, right? And then the offside. The side offside, half a fingernail offside is offside. That's the rule. The issue for me is that in the build-up play. So we saw that I think it was Frenkie that put the through ball to Lamine, which Lamine is offside.
Right. Yeah.
No
He
disagreement
was
there.
offside of the ball. He
Yeah,
got
I'm talking
offside.
about this is the different. Sorry, that's a different scenario. For this one, the offside that you showed, apparently they didn't take the offside picture at the right moment. Apparently, after this moment, the ball had already hit Koundé, so that's already an issue there. But the one for the penalty as well was the real kicker for me. I think that's the actual worst decision. It's because that the through ball gets put to Frenkie, to Lamine, and he's offside Lamine, but then Sociedad player intercepts it. He touches it. He makes contact with the ball, which means now you're now starting a new phase of play. So that shouldn't have been offside. We saw the exact same scenario in El Clasico last season, the 4-3 at the Montjuic, where Mbappe runs through in behind. Kubarsi, when Mbappe runs, he's offside. But Kubarsi touched it, so it makes the ball live, and it makes it a new phase of play. And then Mbappe went around, Chesney took him out, penalty. And that's why I was giving it. Because Kubarsi touched it, that's why Mbappe's not offside, which is fair. But why isn't that the scenario here? That could have put us 1-1 at the last kick before halftime, different second half. So there are some question marks about the referee decision in this game. And then we had like 30 chances, right? We scored like 2 of them. We wouldn't be here. We'd be sitting here, celebrating and, in the glory days. Almost scores that easy chance. The 2 after the second half started. The Pedri in the first minute. Lamine had multiple chances in the first half to equalize. Koundé hit the bar. Lewandowski hit the bar. Rashford hit the post. So we can't sit here and argue this fine margin decision because we had so many opportunities to score. If we didn't have any opportunities, we could definitely go back to this and maybe emphasize it a bit more. End of the day, this game was in Barcelona's hands. We were the better side. But in the end, luck was on the side of Sociedad and not us.
Well, Kafir, let's actually talk about get away from Barca. But before we actually even get away from Barca, right? Let me actually talk about this, right? Let's actually first of all talk about the Copa del Rey draw, right? So we got Albacete, right? Well,
how convenient.
How fancy that. We get to play the team that knocked out Real Madrid. And yeah, I mean, listen, do I think they're going to beat us? No. I think we would take them more seriously and we'll definitely get it done. But, brother, I cannot afford to lose to that team. If we lose to that team, bro, after the crap we've given Madrid fans and we go to lose to them, brother, we will, nah, man, it can't happen. It can't happen. But it's the most, I'm very real. They were the team I wanted to face more than anyone else. And I feel like this is an easy passage to the semifinals, right? It's the best passage. I don't want to say easy, but the best passage for us to reach the semifinals, right? Because we're trying to retain our crown, obviously, right? But thoughts on, getting Albacete in the next round, quarterfinals?
It's quite funny. It is definitely the easiest team you could have gotten. The only upsetting factor is that it's away from home, which they deserve at least to have a home draw coming this far in the Copa del Rey. It's going to be just like the Guadalajara and Racing game. You're going to have tight, heavy atmosphere. You're going to have to survive the low block and the counter press. But the reason why I'm so optimistic is I think that Flick will actually play a fairly strong team because not only did they beat Real Madrid, but this is also a quarterfinal. It's not like they're around 32 or 16 or anything like that where you can maybe rotate. I think Flick will go fairly strong. And hopefully we can just get this game out of the way and, get it in the first half. In these kind of scenarios, when we face these lower teams, the main thing always is to score first. If you score first, you tend to be fine. You look at our history in the past. That's always quite evident when we concede first. We tend to get knocked out. When we score first, we tend to go through, especially when you're facing these lower opponents that are just there for vibes. They're literally going to be hoping they beat you strictly on confidence and momentum. And don't forget as well, as we said, they rotated against Real Madrid. Why? Because they're trying to survive and stay in the Segunda division as well. So them, having a relegation battle might help us too. So I'm fairly confident. I think the other games in the draw as well are interesting. You have Betis hosting Atletico Madrid. Valencia hosting Athletic Club. So hopefully one of those two get knocked out. I think our only real threat now
I
is
hope it's Athletic Club.
our only real threat now I think is Athletic Club and Atletico Madrid. So if one of them can get knocked out, that'd be great. If both of them, even better. Because with the semifinal being 2 legs, you're gonna get one home, one away anyway. So I really don't want to be going to San Mamés or Luanda mid-season. We already have to go there both times for the league, so we don't gotta add another one on top of that. But quarterfinals looks good. Hope we can go out there and get the job done swiftly and comfortably.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But listen, Hafid, I mean, look, let's talk about the Madrid game. Now, obviously, they won a 2-0 win, right? But let's be real, right? That wasn't the biggest thing that came out of the game, right? The biggest thing is obviously the fans showing their displeasure of the week that they've had coming into this Levante game. Obviously, professional 2-0 victory. I wasn't expecting any fight from Levante, to be perfectly honest, right? And another game, another penalty for Real Madrid. What is new? It is what it is. But yeah, the fans definitely showed the players and the club and Florentino how they felt. I mean, the boos were loud, bro. Oh my god. I was sitting there watching, I was like, and then it was in the morning, right? I was like, I mean, listen, I've heard the stadium boo before, so I'm not gonna sit there and pretend, right? But I just watched that, I was like, wow, oh wow, this is actually incredible. Like, these guys, they've had enough. And I don't blame Madrid fans. I really don't. Like, I don't, obviously, I'm a Barca fan, but just to take off my Barca cap aside, you kind of get why they are like this, bro. First of all, you just lost the cup final again to Barcelona, right? That's already bad enough, right? You sack your manager because of what? It's not even because of the result. Now we're hearing that apparently it's because of some stuff that the president was trying to get involved in, trying to get his hands on what is going on downstairs on the pitch, right? With the coaching staff and stuff like that. And then you hire Arbeloa just to go and lose to a team that is fighting relegation in the Segunda division, basically becoming a laughing stock in the whole of Europe, right? I don't blame the fans for showing their feelings, bro. At the end of the day, and here's the thing, the reaction to the boos, I feel like the people that they were booing specifically, look, for me, they deserved it. Those guys specifically. You understand what I mean, right? Because they booed the president, they booed Vinicius. You understand what I mean, right? I think, a lot of the people are going to be like, oh, why did they boo Vinicius? Bro, it's because at the end of the day, let's be real, this is the issue. I said this earlier this season during the moment when he did that whole like tantrums after the Clasico, right? I said, you see Vinny, right? He's so hated around Real Madrid, right? Barca fans hate him. Football fans naturally hate him, right? Because he's shown he's very sensitive. Madrid fans are only tolerating him for now. I'm telling you, when the going gets tough and they start struggling, the first person they're going to turn on is this guy. Because he's the easiest person to hate in this squad right now. You understand what I mean, right? He's the one that does the most when they lose. He's the one that's always like putting himself out there, right? Right? And this dude is hypersensitive, hyper emotional. You saw him in the tunnel with what's his name? Mbappe. My guy was in tears. I'm like, brother. I started there. I said, brother, I don't care. Listen, you're a multimillionaire. I do not care about your multimillionaire tears, first of all. But secondly, dude, do you have any idea which club you play for? Do you see what we did to Araujo after the Chelsea game? My guy had to take a break from football because of the amount of abuse he was getting online. You understand what I mean, right? But this is what comes with wearing the badge of Barca and Madrid. You gotta understand, bro. The eyes are gonna be on you. If you don't perform well, bro, you are cooked. Barca fans and Madrid fans are merciless, bro. I've watched this for 20 years. I have 20 years of experience of seeing this for my club and for Madrid. First experience I ever got from a Clasico was the first Clasico was in 2005 against at the Bernabéu. Brother, they clapped Ronaldinho after he cooked the entire defense. Do you think they just clapped him just out of respect? Brother, that was a message to the players. Like, brother, you guys just got cooked by this guy. Congratulations, Ronaldinho. Thanks for showing our defense what a real baller can do. You all should be ashamed of yourself. That's how the players took it. Salgado even said it. He said, brother, that clap wasn't just for Ronaldinho. That was for us too. They were basically mocking us. They were basically showing us that you showed nothing. You showed no effort. This guy just cooked you all because he has heart. You guys don't. You understand what I mean, right? I've seen
Mhm.
this club boo Bale. I've seen this club boo Ronaldo while he was putting 60 goals every single season. I said, brother, do you think you Vinicius? I, Ronaldo was getting booed when he was putting 60, 70, 80 goals a season. And you think you are safe? You think you're safe? Nah, man. I think you've forgotten the club that you play for. But listen, man. What did you think about like the whole drama? I mean, last thing I'm gonna say also, Florentino Perez. Yeah. I mean, listen, we've seen the Madrid fans, so like we're on chaos, right? So we've
Mhm.
seen guys like Sam, what they've said, Dave, and all these guys. But the fact that, bro, now the fans are actually screaming for the president to resign. It was quite funny to me. But yeah, what did you think, man?
In regards to the protest, I mean, I think the three players that got it in Valverde, Bellingham, and Vinicius deserved it because they are a
Yes.
bunch of ego-filled people that don't really care about anything but themselves, and you can see that over the past few years. On the game itself, Levante had a few chances, especially in that first half. Madrid, I think, didn't play that well for the entire 90 minutes. They got a penalty goal, and I forget what their second goal was like. But even the penalty, I think Mbappe maybe dove a little bit early, made it look clean, but the contact did unfortunately come, so I think it was a penalty. But I think this Madrid team and all that, I think there's still a lot of big issues, and hopefully
Mm.
next week or so they can go back to the humbling they had against Barcelona and Albacete. But yeah, the more unrest, the more uproar, the more Arbeloa, the better for us. So let's hope they continue to derail their season. I think even questions around players starting and what positions, but 1 minute Valverde is at the right back and midfield, 1 minute Gula's on the bench, and next
That's
minute
another
Vinicius
reason why
starts.
they were booing him too, because this brother has been talking the most. This Valverde guy, he be
Yeah,
sitting there talking
honestly,
the most, waffling, right? Talking about, oh, I don't like playing in the fullback position. I think they played him in the midfield in the game against Racing. I'm sorry, no, against what's his name, Albacete,
Albacete.
and that
Yeah.
guy was garbage, bro, garbage in that
Mhm.
game. I was like, bro, you deserve them boos too. The absolute fraud. I'm not even a Madrid fan. I mean, I'm like, yeah, you deserve that, bro. You deserve that after all the talking you were doing. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
just think that. Yeah,
go ahead, go ahead.
I just think that it could have been a game where we maybe would have saw some drop points. I think if it was a better side, we could have continued the Madrid derail. Of course, Levante staying in the relegation zone, we were kind of being quite optimistic. But the fact that they lasted almost 80 minutes, just conceded a penalty, I think goes to show how vulnerable Real Madrid still are.
I mean, yeah, but for me, right, when I was looking, what's funny, right? For me, the funniest thing of all is the reaction from Madrid after the match, right? The boos, the reaction to it, dude. You know what? Do you know what? Do you know what really is so disgusting about this club right now, Madrid, right? Is that this particular version of Madrid, right, have zero self-awareness. They have zero self-awareness. The club itself, not the fans, the club, right? Because they are apparently miffed. They are completely surprised with the reaction. I said, I'm sorry, what? You're surprised that your fans are angry after you just got knocked out by a team fighting for relegation in the Segunda. You're surprised that your fans are angry because you just lost to Barcelona in the Super Copa de España again. You're surprised. You're surprised that your fans are pissed. And apparently, and this is the thing. The things I was hearing before the game too, because there was already rumors that they were going to boo these fans. Apparently, they were trying to ban certain what's his name, banners and stuff like that.
Signs,
I said, this
yeah.
is why. This is why a lot of them are sick of Perez, because these guys are entitled, bro. These guys want to be praised when they win, but guess what? When they lose, bro, they just want you to be quiet. I'm like, bro, this is not what it means to be a fan. A fan will give you credit, but a fan will also criticize. These fans pay money to come and watch the games. At the end of the day, fans are going to be fans. Guess what? Do you know how many of those fans that were booing have been around Real Madrid? Some of these guys have been fans been supporting this club for decades, 30, 40 years, right? Some of these guys have had season ticket holders for decades, right? putting money in this club's pockets. Don't be sitting there telling the fans how to react. It was, honestly, bro, it was so entitled, man. It was so entitled
Very.
from Madrid. And this is what I mean. This current Madrid team is so entitled. This is why, bro, they don't pose me any fear, because they don't have any self-awareness. And the thing is, in life, Hafed, you need self-awareness to see where you've gone wrong so that you can learn from those mistakes and become better. If you have zero self-awareness, bro, you never see your mistakes. You always think it's you just being unlucky. The next time you get it. This is what they've been dealing with the last year. This is why out of the last 6 games, they've only beaten us once. You've lost 5 times against us, and you still haven't learned nothing. Nothing. Because you're going to go back and talk the same talk after we just lost in the Sociedad game. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll be back. And guess what? You drop points again, and guess what? We will win. And then, boom, back again. Gap open again. Then what? You understand what I mean? No self-awareness, man. That's why I feel like the fans have had enough. I think even the fans now have realized this current Madrid team have no self-awareness. They live in their own world where they think they can do no wrong. And I think that's why they really lost it with this team. But yeah, it is what it is.
Probably,
Listen.
probably. I was just gonna say and just quickly add to the fact that this is how you always operate. They always just sign players. They don't sign a team, and they get big heads. And once the ego gets so high, they start getting rid, and they'll have a little bit of a team, they have some success. So this is always a cycle, and especially with a lot of these players, contracts need renewing soon. Especially in the next year, you have Bellingham and Jude that probably need new contracts. I'm hoping for more uproar to come.
Hey, listen, man. Apparently, I'm hearing news that apparently this booing is worrying Madrid in the contract situation for Vinny. I said, hopefully not. Hopefully, he signs a new deal and sticks around for a longer time. It is what it is. But listen, let's actually go to the final topic, man. Let's talk about the Champions League, because we're back on Wednesday. Big game for Barcelona. Big games right now, right, for in the tail end of the Champions League. We are going away at Prague once again, like we did last season, right? Once again, we're going to be playing Slavia Prague, and it is going to be on Wednesday. Hafed, what do you think about this game? Because look, it's a big game, right? It's a big game. And listen, people are going to say, it's still in Slavia Prague. Look, man, at the end of the day, I never misjudge these clubs from these sides of the world, man. Like, they have this tendency to, when you underestimate them, when you just, especially when you're a desperate club trying to get points, like they hate playing, like you hate playing teams like the Slavia Pragues of the world, where you're just going to be going to like certain stadiums, certain atmospheres where the fans are going to be crazy. Like, you never want to go to like clubs like Galatasaray, you feel me, right? Slavia Prague, where like the ultras are nuts. You understand what I mean, right? You never want to go there in a crunch game, bro, because they're the ones that will put the nail in the coffin. You understand what I mean? But like last season we won there. I mean, it was it 5-2? We beat them last season.
Last season wasn't Slavia Prague. It was like a different team.
Was it? Wait, was it that? Was it Red Star Belgrade?
Yeah,
like
Red Star Belgrade.
It was actually Red Star Belgrade. I feel like, I don't know why. Maybe it's the color of the jersey that kind of looks similar.
Yeah, they're basically the same badge. I think.
The pattern of jersey. Yeah, it kind of slipped. But yeah, Slavia Prague, right? So, what did you think? What do you think about this game, bro?
I think it has to be a must-win, of course. We are, I think, right now at a 43% chance of getting into the top 8, so we need other results to go our way. But of course, results can go our way if we don't pick up a win. It should be quite straightforward. It is going to be a hostile atmosphere, like you said. But Barcelona have played so many away games this month; they should be used to it at this point. It's like the racing game, like the Guadalajara game, like all the other away games. Just score first, and then you're going to be in cruise control. They, of course. If they can handle Red Star Belgrade last season, this shouldn't really be too much of an issue. It will be a bit cold, so hopefully the squad are going to get some nice warmers and get out there and get the result that we need. But top 8 on the line, so nothing but a win in this match, and of course the last match next week as well.
I mean, look, there's a lot of games coming up. I mean, obviously it starts tomorrow with Madrid are playing against Monaco. Right, that's gonna be a game we'll be definitely keeping an eye on. But when you look at the table right now, it's quite interesting, right? When I'm looking at this table, the table looks quite interesting, right? So we are currently sitting 15th, right, in the table, but we're with 10 points, but we're tied with points with Newcastle, Chelsea, and Sporting Lisbon. And when you look at from third, from where we are to, I would say, 21st, which is PSV, right? because it's only like a point. You understand what I mean, right? And look at it. If you look at it right now, up the difference between eighth, right, which is the automatic last automatic place to us, is currently 2 points. So, and you've got like, and when you look at like Madrid, you got Madrid, Inter, Atleti, Liverpool, Dortmund, Tottenham, all of these clubs, right, who are like point or two behind us. You understand what I mean, right? And some clubs are like 3 points, like the PSGs and the Man Cities. We're still not far away. I feel like it's the old saying we always say, which is we just got to focus on us. I just feel like
A
when
lot of
we
those
look,
teams have some difficult games as well. I think
that is the
Atletico Madrid have to go to like Galatasaray. Madrid have Monaco. I forget who Madrid have in their last game. They have Benfica away, so
Benfica away, Mourinho.
yeah. So things can definitely happen for us if we do have definitely the easier two games: Slavia Prague and Copenhagen. But if we won the Club Brugge game, this would have been smooth sailing. But what can you do? I think we just
Bro,
have
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
we're
look,
just gonna go roll the
I mean,
punches.
if
I
you
have to
look at
check
it,
right now.
yeah,
What
I mean,
like
look, if you're looking at this right now, like look at this half right? So you look, so you where this is where we are. Look at this, right? So we are. This is like the two teams that we're tied on points with. But look at this, Tottenham are a point ahead, so it's Dortmund. But Liverpool, from Liverpool to Inter, right? They're only 2 points behind us. Atalanta are three. You understand what I mean, right? And all the way to third. And this is what I mean, right? All of these teams, right? The amount of teams, the way the table can literally shift by the end of Wednesday is so crazy. Like some of these clubs that are down here could be up here. You understand what I mean, right? Even clubs like Juventus, right? They still have a shot of being near here or here, depending on what happens in these results. You understand what I mean, right? And when you look at the games, right? When you look at the games, like you mentioned, look at, I mean, 1 second, here it is, right?
I was just checking now. Like I think
Inter playing Arsenal, which is going to be a big game. They are one of the teams that are 2 points behind us. You understand what I mean, right? They're playing Arsenal, right? PSG are playing Sporting, which, by the way, Sporting are the same points as us, and PSG are only what 2-3 points behind us. You understand what I mean, right? So something's got to give in that game, right? Real Madrid are playing at home at the Bernabéu against Monaco. Tottenham are playing Dortmund. Do you see that? Do you see how much
look at the last games as
advantage
well.
we
I
have?
think Chelsea play Napoli, Newcastle play PSG. So again, it's in our favor. We got to lock it. I'm quite surprised that our percentage is quite low. We should get some goals as well because goal difference might be coming into play. So I think Atletico Madrid have Galatasaray and someone else. Madrid have Monaco, then Benfica.
And then
So
you got Marseille playing Liverpool in this round too, right? Newcastle playing PSV, which is another big game because both of those teams are in the playoffs too. You understand what I mean, right? So I feel like when you look at the two games where we have to play, especially with this one, this is the team on paper that we would have loved to play. We would love to play. You understand what I mean, right? So what do you think, man, result wise? You think we can go out there and get the job done?
I think Copenhagen next week will be easy. This one will be a bit tough since it's gonna be away. It's gonna be cold. They're not really used to that, but the players are gonna have to look for a bounce back. They're gonna have to dig in and try and get this result. I think we definitely can. Just about the execution, I expect Flick to go fairly strong for this team as well in terms of the lineup. I don't think he'll make too much rotation. I think the rotation will probably be against OVA though this weekend in Copenhagen. Those are very easier games, both at the Camp Nou, finally back in our stadium. So this is kind of the last one. We'll have Rafa back, and when we have Rafa, we tend to win. So I'm quite fairly optimistic and fairly confident, but just about surviving that first 15, 20 minutes, survive that period where the fans will be on top. If we can get a goal, then it really shut them up even better. But I'm quite confident we can get over the line. And the most important thing is that we have to get over the line, or else you're not getting top 8.
No, I agree. So what's your prediction as far as the score is concerned in this game?
I'm going to go with a nice 3-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet in this game. I don't see Slavia Prague having too much firepower up front to cause us damage. I think they only have 2 goals in the entire Champions League so far. They lost 3-0 to Arsenal and Spurs, and they drew 0-0 to Athletic Club. So not really a goal-scoring team. I just think that's all about Barcelona breaking the deadlock early to give this game the needed comfortability it needs. I think in the rest of our Belgrade game, I think it ended 5-2 or 5-1, and we scored a lot in the first half. And I think Conde had like a break of an assist, and we're all losing our minds. So the players know that experience about playing away in a hostile atmosphere, just with the weather. But I'm fairly confident that we will get over the line.
For sure, man. But it is what it is. Hopefully, it goes as smooth and as you just mentioned, half it. But yeah, man. Listen, guys, let us know what you guys think of everything we've said. As far as my prediction is concerned, I'm going 2-0 Barca. Right? I think we are gonna get a standard 2-0 victory. And yeah, it is what it is. So Afet, what do you have coming in your channel obviously this week? We're expecting a watch along on Wednesday, and we'll be back on Friday for the preview.
Yep. Yep. We got watch long preview, review, transfer news. I'll talk about Dro this week as well, making that move to PSG. Then we'll have another episode of the pod on Friday as well.
Oh, for sure. But make sure you guys go and subscribe to my guy, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Basa Boy 103, guys. You guys already know, man. This was yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast. Let us know all of the topics that we mentioned in this episode of the podcast, guys. Let us know everything. Make sure you guys smash the like button on your way out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Basa Boy 103 as always. And peace, you guys. Visca Basa.